From the post-millennial, Trump admin to ask Congress to extend federal control of D.C. cop past 30-day limit. President Donald Trump stated his intention to extend the federalization of the Washington, D.C. police force, telling reporters on Wednesday he will be asking Congress to pass a crime bill on the matter, extending it beyond the 30-day time limit. Trump said he would be seeking long-term extensions from Congress via a crime bill that would allow him to continue his efforts on cracking down on crime in the nation's capital. The bill will pertain initially to D.C., but serve as a very positive example for other areas of the country, the president said during a press briefing at the Kennedy Center. How long is this clip here?
Go ahead.
30 seconds.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your federalization of the police has a 30-day limit unless Congress acts to extend it. Are you talking to Congress about extending it, or do you believe 30 days is sufficient?
Well, if it's a national emergency, we can do it without Congress, but we expect to be to Congress before Congress very quickly. And again, we think the Democrats will not do anything to stop crime, but we think the Republicans will do it almost unanimously. So we're going to need a crime bill that we're going to be putting in.
So, look, I think that this is going to end up being popular. The crime in D.C., as much as the left has been trying to say, no, there is no crime problem, like, it's worse than some cities in Iraq.
Did you see Morning Joe talk about it?
With Anand.
Scarborough?
Yeah, with the blonde, or with the white hair guy.
He was basically saying, yeah, it's horrible. Like, he was saying his friend got mugged. They can't go out past 8 p.m. Like, liberals are kind of like saying, like, hey, you know, this Trump thing, yeah, we hate him. It's horrible what he's doing, but let's let him do it because I still want to go to dinner past 8:30.
Yeah.
The Atlantic this morning had a similar piece where they were like, Trump's right about D.C. and it was like just them just like mad for 3 pages.
Yeah. There's like so I watched this show called Two-Way. Mark Halperin has, he says that he doesn't live there, but he has family there, and they don't go out at night. And it doesn't matter what neighborhood you're in, because you're only a block away from a bad neighborhood or 2 blocks away from a bad neighborhood. So
D.C. is a scary place. For the longest time, it was the homicide capital of America.
Yep.
They did. Judge Jeannie did this whole thing on it, where she was just documenting everybody under the age of 19 who was killed, and they're all black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them.
I retweeted
all the kids.
I retweeted that yesterday, and someone was like, "Oh, this is just you're lying, Phil." And blah blah blah, talking about. Actually, no. I think I said, if you are fine with people dying, then continue the status quo. Then someone said that I was lying about the situation. And then I retweeted the tweet that you're talking about. And I was just like, look, in the past 18 months, something like 35 people have died, and they're all young black men.
Yeah.
So if you actually do want to do something about crime and about black people dying, this is what you need to do. You need to have the police go in to the area and have a presence walking around, and they need to arrest people, and they need to deter crime. And that does work. It worked when Giuliani was doing it in New York. You had a police presence. Granted, they had stop and frisk. Maybe they don't actually have that policy in D.C., but a police presence will lower crime. It does make it more likely that people will not mug other people. People will not get into, shootouts and stuff.
Yeah, well, it was like Carolyn Levitt was talking about it today, specifically with the homeless issue. She's like, DC has all the laws in the books to end this, to end this crap where people are just doing whatever they want.
Doesn't matter if they don't enforce it.
Right. So she's like, all we're doing is we're coming in and enforcing a law that already exists. It was already passed by their city council, or I don't know if it was their city or implemented. Regardless, it's on the books, and all you have to do is just put a little power behind it and enforce it. And it's the same thing with policing. It's like, you go talk to any police officer, they know exactly what to do to cut the crime down. Like, it's not rocket science. Every cop knows. You just have a chat with one. It's that their hands are tied and their DAs will not enforce
police. That's been going on longer even than, say, George Floyd in 2020. Those DAs have been, refusing to prosecute certain cases and tying the hands of the police. And then there was a referendum in however many of the last few years on broken windows policing and on stop and frisk and all that stuff. And the more tools that were taken away from the police, the worse crime got in a lot of these places. But those were discussions that used to be had in good faith, and nowadays they're just used as political bludgeons. Like there was a time when you could have that discussion, probably because you had the benefit of living in a time where there's less crime because these things were being done, where a more liberal person is saying like maybe we're infringing on the rights of people. Yeah. And I think that that's a fair conversation to have. And I think that's reasonable. But the problem is it was done at a time when you had the safety to do so. And now people, they don't use that discussion in a good faith manner. They use it as a way to bludgeon you towards their political ends. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. And I'm much more worried about criminals infringing the rights of normal people to live than I am of potentially infringing the rights of someone that buys 30 priors. I mean, like, who cares? Honestly, Bukele has demonstrated that the overwhelming majority of people just want to get on with their day and they don't want to deal with these people that have nothing to lose. Yeah. And DC is just full of these people. I mean, you can just see they have nothing to lose. They have like 30 priors.
To your point earlier, like the police know the people that are actually out there committing crimes regularly. Mm-hmm. The police always know. And it's probably, I don't know exactly how many it is, but it's probably not more than a few hundred people that are actually really bad. Maybe 500-600 people that are out there committing crimes regularly. And if the police go in and wrap those dudes up and put them in jail, crime will fall. Mm-hmm. That is something that has happened forever. If you go and enforce the law, take the criminals off the street, they will, the situation in the area will get better. I think broken windows policing is a great idea. It's shown to work in every place that it's been tried. You prevent small crimes, and then the big crimes don't happen. You have to take the criminals off the street. And I think that this is actually going to end up being a really big win for the Trump administration, because there are so many people that, just like we were saying earlier, Democrats are begrudgingly saying, well, yeah, it kind of sucks. There's a lot of crime in D.C., et cetera. You get off the metro and you got some homeless guy touching himself in public or whatever.
Defecating in a trash can.
And it's not something that anyone anywhere wants to deal with, and it shouldn't be something that we have to deal with in our capital city.
And let's be honest, I'm from California. You guys are more local to DC than I am, but when I go to DC quite regularly, and as an American, I want to show up in my nation's capital. I want to see flowers. I want to see peaches. I want it to be peaceful. I want to hear music. I want to see the glory of my capital. And when you're an American, you go to DC and you show up, and it's just like filth and piss and disgusting everywhere, and then you're getting robbed, and kids can't be outside, and there's prostitution. And it's like, that's a reflection of our nation.
Yep.
Like how is the capital, and that's how the people are. Yeah. So
it's a great point. It should be a world-class city, right? There should be Michelin star restaurants that people can safely go to. You should be able to walk from your 5-star or 4-star hotel to a very nice restaurant, go to a museum, which there are tons of museums in D.C. Oh, yeah. You should be able to walk to these places. You shouldn't have to make sure that you're avoiding certain neighborhoods or whatever. It should be safe.
Right.
And that's something that the federal government, I think, should be making sure that the municipality is doing.
Right. And the DOJ has the tools at their disposal to really crack down hard. Because it's embarrassing. Foreign dignitaries rolling up.
Yeah, you got like the most important people in the entire world.
Even just having international tourists. I don't want my country to be reflected like this.
That's exactly my point.
It's the same thing that happens in other states when, somebody's in Hollywood and they host some award show and they have to clean up the homeless people off the street overnight, so that the celebrities don't have to walk over them.
Yeah, that's what happened in San Fran when Xi Jinping came to town.
Yeah, exactly.
And then all of a sudden it's like, again, because like I said earlier, these police departments, they know exactly what to do.
Yep.
Also, look at D.C. Like, the last 20 years has been like an amazing gentrification for D.C. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable architectural feats went down. Tons of buildings went down. And the problem that you have in D.C. is you have like this like non-permanent resident class that every 4 years, all these houses all of a sudden become available. All these... this is a constant migration of people. So like moving forward as Americans with DC, we can't just treat it as like this place that only politicians live. It has to be a tourist attraction.
Politicians don't even live there.
No, they live in Loudoun County.
Yeah, if they live in the area.
Yeah.
It's more like the bureaucrats that live there, and the bureaucrats and the system. And you ask anybody in DC where
you start talking about bureaucrats, then I'm like, well, maybe the crime isn't such a bad thing, and maybe their lives are terrible. It's not. It's okay if their lives are awful.
Another thing, I saw Tom Homan make a comment on it that he's going in there in these 30 days. He's going to clear out every single illegal and strip the place bare. You're going to only have red, white, and blue in D.C. when these 30 days are done.
Look, the more difficult it is, and I've said this a bunch of times on the show, the more difficult it is for illegals to live in the United States, the happier I am. Tax remittances, make sure they can't get jobs, make it illegal for them to rent, make sure that they can't find places to live, so that way they leave of their own volition. But I don't want to get off on a tangent about...
What's the matter? You don't want to give them free healthcare and free mobile phones and free housing?
Oh, I don't even want
to... Are you a racist?
If I could take their air away, I would take their air. No, not really. I'm not really.
How could I be in such a racist environment? What did I do?
No,
How did I show up here?
No, I want the same thing for... It doesn't matter what color they are.
But by the way, just back on that other topic about Democrats like belittling this racist... Everybody who's against us is a racist. It doesn't work anymore.
No.
You can't. There's no racism anymore in this situation. When we talk about removing all the illegals, there's no pushback anymore. The only pushback is the people on the Hill who are taking fat checks from overseas.
Oh yeah, we got Sydney Sweeney getting on TV like blonde hair, blue eyes. That's some good genes right there. This is wild.
Kudos to them for not pulling the ad. It got so much pressure. Fox conducted a poll. Only 12% of Americans were bothered by it.
Yeah.
And like they would have pulled the ad. How much of the media, how much like the commercial media is pulled because of some like toxic media manipulation, social engineering, and nobody cared to begin with. They would have loved it.
Especially now, because like the average American, I was talking about earlier in PCC, they see her and they're like, yeah, she does have good genes. Like it's not, people aren't even like disagreeing with the message. It's like, she does have good genes. I mean, she's a model or famous actress, like obviously.
We were talking earlier, it's funny how all of these discussions around these companies are based on some type of consumerist nonsense. It was like Bud Light and it was Gillette. Now it's this, it's all, the culture war is always pulled into something they want us to buy somehow. But back then it worked a hell of a lot better because, when it was Gillette, 2018 or 2019 that happened.
Probably, I'm not sure.
That was like that was the trenches of the worst part of the culture war when everybody was bending the knee. And now it just, all they had to do was wait it out. We didn't see any real evidence that anybody bought any jeans, at least not that I saw. Some people said that her jeans sold out. I didn't see any statistics that said that. They said sales remained flat, but the stock went up. So that's just indicative of the way things are. It's like it doesn't actually move the needle because it's great ad. It's not going to make anybody go to a mall. Nobody wants to go to a mall.
The craziest part was how many people came out with their own "I got good genes" ad, and the funniest one I saw was Beyonce. And when Beyonce did it, literally, she's the new Michael Jackson. Like, is she bleaching her skin and dyeing her hair? She is as white as the moon right now.
She's probably.
And she was up there saying, "I have good genes." I was like, then why don't you look black anymore? Like, what? Why don't you like?
No,
your
that
genes?
was like a fake ad. I think that was like from an old Levi ad of hers.
Okay.
But then, yes, they were like, then why did you use the photo with the blonde hair?
Yeah.
For the ad.
Authenticity is not a necessity.
No.
It's all.
Not if you're a Democrat.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't really buy any politician as authentic. Like, anytime a politician is talking, I'm assuming that they're tailoring whatever they're saying to try to get me to do something. And I think that that's a fair approach to take with all of them.
But it is
safe than sorry.
I do like, there is a degree of accessibility with the Trump admin that I love. Because I remembered like 3 months ago on like Anon Twitter circles where people were like, we should just federalize DC. Like, we can just do that, right? And then 3 months later, it slowly trickles its way up the ladder until it gets into the Trump admin. The Trump admin's like, this could solve a lot of problems. So it really does feel like that the Trump admin has their ear to the base. Like they understand what we want, what we're asking for. Obviously, there's a lot of disconnect. I mean, like we're having to, go crazy about amnesty every month.
He also
generally what happens, you'll see it on Twitter, and then like 2-3 months later, the Trump admin figures are discussing it.
I also don't think he would have done this in his first term because he would have been too worried about re-election.
That, and he had a den of jackals around him who basically their entire job was to tack him to the center as much as they possibly could. Where now he's surrounded by guys that not just reinforce what his ideology and what MAGA means, but guys that actually bring something to the table, guys that are assets really that are tools, and it's a beautiful thing.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.